Hi, my name is Mitch Schneider, and I'm coming to you from my office at home a little bit more casually today. It's Sunday, and probably should be out doing something fun, but I thought it would be prudent to go ahead and take advantage of the few minutes that I have right now to share with you some of the images that unfortunately didn't make it onto the screen on last Wednesday's presentation. As you probably have already determined if you've been watching the series, we've had some technical difficulties along the way. So I thought it would be a good idea to go back over the material that we covered on Wednesday, the 24th segment of our show, and share with you the images that I think are critically important, because what we're talking about here is going from the conception of an idea until the reality of a practice, of a policy, of a procedure. And I think that happens an awful lot in all of our lives in many different areas. And perhaps if we can understand the technology of what's going on, we can go ahead and perhaps change that somewhat. So as I shared with you, there was a blog that appeared from a favorite author of mine, Seth Godin, and it had to do with signing. That was the title of the blog, Sign It. And I'll show you a copy of that blog and let you recognize that that was the springboard from which a whole project originated. So it started with this blog, as you can see. And from that blog, it sort of tickled an idea, especially an idea that was fresh, because we were looking at a lot of different issues at the shop while I've been doing these shows on comebacks and warranty. As you know, as we spoke about at great length in the last three webcasts that we've done, a comeback is a vehicle returning to the shop for any reason. It could be a product-related failure, what most people would call a warranty. And that's what we call warranty, a product-related failure. But we differentiate between warranty and any other reason that might bring the car back to the shop on an unscheduled, undesired in many cases by the vehicle owner, visit to the shop. I know you're a wonderful person. I know you're a great guy. I know you have an incredible shop. I know your customers love you to death, just the way ours love us. But quite frankly, they really don't want to be there unless they have to. They have other things to do. They have busy lives. And as much as we may want to dement ourselves into believing that there's nothing in the world that would be more fun than them hanging out with you and me and with our technicians, the bottom line is that they have other places to go and other things to do. So while I was focusing on this whole issue and this whole area of comebacks and warranty, this blog dropped in on my wife's birthday on July 9th. And the blog tickled this particular reaction, and for me, it's not uncommon. If you were to know me better, you'd know that I'll write on anything that's handy. I write on napkins. I have all kinds of. I walk around with a notebook. I take electronic or digital notes in my iPhone or in my iPad, or on the thousands of pieces of paper that are spread out everywhere. And some of the best ideas I've had are scribbled on something. So I scribbled it on this particular piece of paper. From that piece of paper, I started to work on the computer and sort of flesh the idea out a little bit more completely, and wound up with 4 different iterations of the same thing. And here's what they look like as they move from one to another, subsequently getting better and tighter. We hope subsequently getting better and tighter. And I'm going to let you take a look at that, and then I'm going to come right back, and we'll see where we're going from there, okay? Okay, I actually only put up 2 of those because I figured there's only so much of that you could look at. But frankly, you can see the progression, how it went from an idea, got scribbled on the page, walked over to the computer, started to work it out, went ahead and created a document, started to place images on it so that we'd know what it looked like. There's actually a 4th one, which I gave to the printer just on Friday to have him take a look at it. And the thing that's really the most interesting about all of this is I was going to have this done on 4, 8.5 by 11 stationary, and I was going to put one in each car. I was going to give each of these documents to each of our technicians, one with their pictures on it, naturally, have them sign it, put the invoice number on it, and put the date on it, and leave it on the seat. And then it occurred to me, after speaking to my coach at ATI, Automotive Training Institute, Paul Collison, who has become a really good friend and a tremendous resource for me, especially when it comes to bouncing these ideas around. He said, you know, it would be a pretty good idea if you went ahead and turned it into a mirror hanger. And that way you could put it on the mirror on each car, have the technician fill it out and put it on the mirror of each car. And as you walk down the lot, you could make sure that, in fact, every car had one. And that would really help with quality control. So I gave that to my printer along with a questionnaire, a customer satisfaction questionnaire, which is only one question long, and I'll show you that in a moment. And you can get an idea of it. So the questionnaire will go on one side, and this will go on the other side, and both will go on the mirror if it looks as good as I hope it will. And we'll have a twofer. I'll go ahead and in the newsletter that we send out to all of our clients, I'll go ahead and make sure that there is a document, a letter, an article, explaining that these questionnaires will be filled out, and if they're turned back into the shop, and they'll be put in a drawing, and the drawing will be for an iPod or something of value, of significant value to our clients and customers. And that's pretty much how this whole issue of Sign It came about. Now, if you read the document earlier on that Sign It, what you're really talking about is saying, listen, if I'm proud enough of my work to put my signature on it, to benchmark it with my signature, that means that I've done everything I can to ensure that that work was high quality. And the interesting part about that, as far as I'm concerned, is that one of the iterations that I had come up with earlier in this process said, I take a great deal of personal pride in where I work and in the work that I do. If there's a problem with anything I've done, please let me know. And after discussing it with my wife, and after discussing it with Paul, and after thinking about it myself, I decided to pull that sentence out. And I decided to pull a sentence out because it was negative, and everything else in this document, I believe at least, is positive. It really goes to the heart of the fact that as a technician, whether it's Bob or Javi or Steve or John or myself, all have a great deal of pride in what we do. And we have so much pride in what we do, we're willing to go ahead and stand behind it with our picture and our name, so that you as a client, you as a motorist, know who we are. So there's accountability that's built in there, and there's implicitly an endorsement or a testimonial that we really have tried everything we can to ensure that that work has gone out perfectly in every respect. So these are the documents that we were not able to go ahead and include last Wednesday because we were having technical difficulties and the computer froze up, although the transmission, of that live feed went through. Go figure. In any case, if you like this format better, if it's more relaxed, or if you feel that it's more natural, please give me a call and let me know. We can still do these live casts and supplement them with subsequent video streams like this one. I'd like this to remain as intimate and as helpful as possible. So your feedback is always endorsed. You look at that blog post from Seth Godin, and you recognize that all of us do that every day. I mean, we're very, very intimate in the relationships that we have with our clients and our customers. And ours is a very personal business, and it's still a crafts-based business. We can't forget that. And because it's a crafts-based business, and because it's done at our workplace, and because clients and customers, motorists, come to us to have their problem solved and this work done, we want it to be as personal and as unique an experience as possible. We want them to understand just how much faith we have in the people that we've hired to work for us. We want them to understand how critically important it is to you and me for them to leave the shop satisfied, more than satisfied, actually delighted in the work that they got. And each of us wants to ensure that the experience that our clients and customers have while they're with us is unique in almost every respect we can control, and that it's perfect in every way, and that they feel good about it. And realistically, we're going to fail from time to time. That always happens. But the important thing to remember is that if you're not trying for zero defects, if you're not trying for perfect work, you're never going to get close. If it's okay for you, or it's acceptable to have 5% failure, then you're going to have 5% failure, maybe 7 or 8, who knows. So there's an argument to be made for the fact that neurosis is healthy in this particular case. So again, I'm really interested in your feedback. I've signed this piece of work. I've put my name on it. I've stamped it with my own benchmark. I hope you'll think about doing the same at your place. I think it'll make a huge difference, especially in the relationship you have with your technicians. When you go to them and say, listen, I want you to put your name on it. I want you to put your face on it. I want the customer to recognize that you're an important part of this team and that I have faith in you. And because I have faith in you, I've allowed them to work on this motorist's car. And I know you've done everything that you can to make sure that it's perfect work all the time, every time. And let me know how you feel about it. Let me know how you think. I'm going to go ahead and throw this on motorage.com/Mitch site. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the blog post as well. I may even throw it on Facebook. I don't know. I'm experimenting with the technology. I apologize for the fact that I'm learning as I go along, but I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. So let me know how this works for you. Thank you. Stay well. Take care until Wednesday on the 20th. I believe it's the 20th. See you then. Take care.